I have a big heart. That means I'm an empath.
Hello everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Kidneyjay. The J stands for jerk because my kidneys are a pair of jerks, and this is a Foodie Beauty Chantal Marie Big Beautiful Me video. I might get a little chatty Cathy in here. I am so sorry, but this is an ER update, and she hasn't been talking about her health, so I haven't really been covering her. We'll just put it that way politely. So she did go to the ER, and this is her after the ER in her car talking about what went down. Should I do a song? Usually I do a Chantel song. Should we do it like throwback Weird Al style? Yeah. Like a surgeon. Can't you hear my heart beats for the very first time? Okay, let's just go. Sorry, don't leave. That's it for singing.
My blood pressure was like 178 over 92, but they didn't even mention that. I just happened to notice. They didn't say anything about my blood. Okay, so
Okay, I'll just say this. She's going to say a lot in this. And by the way, the clip is only about 2 or 3 minutes that I put together. They're going to say a lot. They didn't do this. They didn't tell me this. And yeah, that's true. When you go to the ER in Ontario, they are looking for acute medical problems. Everything that Chantel went for are chronic, ongoing problems that she should be taking up with her family doctor and getting treated that way. So the fact that they didn't mention that she was frankly hypertension is because it wasn't emergency level hypertension. Um, and, she's probably supposed to be taking medications for it. I don't know. I do know she's supposed to be taking a statin for her arteries, which is one of the causes for an enlarged heart, but we'll get into that later. So just keep that in mind that yeah, the ER doctors do not tell you a lot unless it's pertaining to the emergency. You're supposed to know about your chronic health conditions and what your level should be.
I don't have heart disease. So what it was, they didn't even mention that.
Are you sure?
So whenever you get a test done, an X-ray, so I went in, they sent me for an EKG, that was normal. Then they sent me for an X-ray, so I went to X-ray, and like I was short of breath and had chest pain, like at that point. But like again, I haven't been taking my normal inhalers, right? Because that's my fucking stupidity.
Okay, she hasn't been taking any medication except for her inhaler, and I do believe she went to the ER to just get a renewal on her inhaler. The only medication she takes, because that's the only medication she feels she needs, because it's the only thing, the chest pain and the breathing difficulty, that's the only thing that's giving her immediate apparent discomfort. So that's why she gets that puffer refilled. So EKG, echocardiogram, that's the one where they stick all the things on you. It takes more time to set up than the actual test. They just get a little snippet of your heartbeat, see if there's any irregularities there, as well as a chest x-ray.
So I just went to the X-ray, did the X-ray, and then as I'm waiting for the results, the doctor to check the results. You can go. No, that's high blood pressure. Yeah. So I um, checked online, and the chest X-ray said everything was normal in the lungs. Um, Cardio something outline looked normal, but there was mild cardiomegaly. But they weren't even going to mention that. I'm like, so I was looking at my chest X-ray, because he was acting like, I'm like, and I saw mild, and he's like, mm-hmm. He's like, oh, that's no. I'm like, can I be referred to a cardiologist? He's like, no. He's like, if you've been, most very obese people, if you've been obese, especially most of your life, have an enlarged heart more than normal people. So it's, yeah. So anyway,
Okay, so the most common reasons to have an enlarged heart is high blood pressure, check Chantel, as well as ischemic heart disease, which is basically a buildup of plaque in like coronary artery disease, which, by the way, she was given a statin to help that 2 years ago, which she has not taken. Check. So basically, this doctor is looking at you, Chantel, because he has eyes, and he's saying this person is morbidly obese, came in hypertension with hypertension. Maybe they took a blood panel, saw that your cholesterols were slightly elevated, yeah, it makes sense that you would have an enlarged heart. This, again, is something you should be talking to your family doctor about.
Gave me some inhalers, which did help a bit, like the chest, like, and they gave me some Medicaid, like some Advil, Tylenol. That got rid of my headache. So, I mean, I think I'm just like, because I'm so, they tested for blood clots, no blood clots. Because I'm so paranoid because of that, like my embolisms and everything. So if I have trouble breathing and chest pain, they usually want me to go in and just make sure that I don't have blood clots and everything. So I didn't weigh myself.
Oh, really? You're so paranoid about blood clots, are you? That's why you haven't taken your warfarin in like a year and a half. You don't check your INR to see. Well, why would you if you're not taking your warfarin? You haven't followed up with the thrombosis clinic. I believe you were sent a letter saying that you are non-compliant with the thrombosis clinic, but you're so paranoid about your blood clots. Bullshit. Bullshit. She went to the ER. Sympathy ploy? She knows shit is gonna hit the fan soon, as well as she needed a refill on those puffers, and she has not followed up with her family doctor. She has not followed up with a thrombosis clinic. She has not followed up with her fatty liver disease. So she went to the ER because she needed a new puffer, as well as to get the heat off her. That's it. Now, I will say, as far as the weighing in the ER, people are like, bullshit, they would weigh you. Never in my life have I been weighed in the ER. Doctors, like I said, healthcare professionals, they have eyes. They could see if you're morbidly obese. They don't need a number on the scale. So I do believe they did not weigh her. However, there are scales everywhere. Usually you could sneak on one and see what your weight was.
They didn't weigh me. The inhaler, yeah, the Symbicort, I guess. I just like, I don't know, like I feel like I just neglected my health for a long time. Completely neglected myself. You guys know that. Time for a health arc, yes. So I did neglect my health in the past, but going forward, I am going to work step by step to get my health back in order.
Really? What are those steps? You can't just say, I'm going to work step by step to get my health in order. You have to have a plan. You have to have a starting point. You have to meet goals to actually get your health in order. You can't just say, I'm going to get my health in order step by step. No, that's not how it works. By the way, for like heart disease and stuff, that like an enlarged heart is something that I do my best to avoid. Because I'm on dialysis, I'm at an increased risk of heart disease. Fluid overload would be one of them. That's why I like try my best to not drink a lot of fluid. I'm actually annoyingly militant about that. As well as, you know, salty foods, high blood pressure. My blood pressure is never high. And I do wholly believe that's a lot to do with diet. But anyways, you can tell she's annoying me. Sorry. By the way, if you made it this far, subscribe, leave a comment. I love hearing from you. I love learning from you.
I didn't go for a medical clearance yet to go to Turkey. I'm going to actually get like a whole medical clearance.
Sure.
Hey, Stephanie. So you're healthy, just big, yeah.
Ma'am, sure, you tell yourself. Because the ear doctor didn't tell you all this shit that you have, because they are not an acute emergency. They are chronic diseases, pre-diabetic, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, enlarged heart, you know, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, all this shit. They're chronic, ongoing diseases, not an emergency. So, yeah, she can fool herself thinking she's just big but healthy. Whatever. You go on living your life like that. Bye, guys. That's it for me.
I'm almost done.